Here are 11 wardrobe essentials I rely on year after year. In a wardrobe essentials video, I'm always so curious why someone chooses one piece over another, what details make this piece a really good one, and then also how do you take one basic and style it in a number of ways to get the most versatility. Those are all things I'll be talking through in today's video. Something important I want to share right at the start is that the difference between a basic I wear 3 times a week and a basic that I almost never wear is always in the details. The details that make something more flattering, more versatile, more comfortable, and I'll just keep on reaching for it. Building up our autumn essentials should be a slower process, and every single time I try to rush this, I find myself compromising on certain details, and it backfires every time. With this capsule I'm showing you today, I have built it up over the last couple of years. There are some pieces that are older, some newer, so don't feel disheartened if you can't find your perfect pieces immediately. My first autumn essential are these long sleeve form-fitting tops that basically serve as the t-shirt alternative for autumn winter. I have 3 of these I wear on rotation, and it's a little collection I've been building up in my wardrobe, and they form my base layer in these colder months. Immediately, what they have in common is that they have feminine and playful accents on them that really suit my style. So whether that is the lace pattern, the balloon sleeve, button details, or scalloped edges, there is enough detail to make it feel already like my style once I wear it with a pair of jeans. This black one is my newest one, and I feel like from afar it can look a bit boring, but I really just love that scalloped neckline edge. It's so feminine, it's so cute and pretty, and that's a detail I was really drawn to. This one is technically a cardigan. Most of the time I wear it like a sweater, but it's really good to have the option to wear it open as well. I love these form-fitting knit tops, but let me show you now some versions that haven't worked out as well in the past, or I just avoid them when I'm shopping. First thing you might notice on my tops is that they either cuff in really tightly at the wrist, or they just have a well-fitting sleeve length. And something that's a pet peeve of mine is when the sleeves bunch up a lot at the wrist. This is usually something that can feel a little bit sloppy when I have it on, so something I avoid. On a simple top, neckline is huge. I usually avoid anything that is very open and scooped because I don't like it. I don't like V's as much as I like a rounded crew neck. This is super personal, and it really depends on what works for you. My second wardrobe essential is a cord set, and I had to include this because of how often I wore it in the Australian autumn-winter. When I got this set during the Australian autumn-winter, which was your spring-summer, I wore this, I feel like more than 15 times. The reason I really love wearing this cord is because it's so easy to throw it on and just feel really put together. I change up my accessories and maybe my outerwear and some finer details of how I wear it, but it makes dressing so quick and easy, and I feel really polished. The second thing I love is, of course, that you can wear them separately, and I just feel like I'm getting maximum versatility. If anything catches your eye and you feel like it's going to be perfect for your wardrobe, I will have them linked down below along with sizing recommendations when something is available. Let me compare this cord set to previous sets I may have owned. I had this set from Reformation. It was like a really beautiful orange color, and it looked great. But the issue with it was that the material was absolutely awful. I think it was a blend of viscose and something else. After wearing it about 10 times, only 10 times, the material was just thinning out and pilling unbelievably. There's no particular order, so I'm gonna jump to a pair of fluid silk trousers. These are a really beautiful silk trouser made from a weight that I think works really well for spring and for autumn. They're not super flimsy ones that I tend to reach for in summer. They've got a bit of weight to them, and I do feel like they work really well in that transitional season. I love wardrobe staples that almost fix a problem that I'm having in my wardrobe. In autumn winter, one of my concerns is too many heavy fabrics, from our coat to our chunkier knitwear. So this is kind of the solution to that. So what do I actually look for in trousers to find the right pair? One of the first things is shape. I like a wide leg shape, but I don't want to be drowning in fabric. So there definitely is a point where something becomes too wide to be super versatile, and I feel like the shape of this one is ideal. The second thing is fabric. I like something that has drape. So if something's too rigid, or if it's like a cotton poplin kind of material, sometimes I find it a little bit harder to wear compared to really soft fluid shapes. I am short, so it's very common for me to get things tailored, but when I'm at the tailor, I like to ask for an ankle length because I just find it to be the most flattering on myself. Too long and it kind of just puddles too much, it's impractical. Too short and I feel like it cuts off my leg, so that ankle length is my kind of happy point. A really important detail is that pants need to have belt loops. That seems obvious, but there are definitely pants out there that don't have it, and I swear I wear them 50% less if there aren't belt loops. Let me compare it to a pair of pants that I do really like in my wardrobe, but ultimately these are pants I pull out on occasion as opposed to wearing them multiple times a week. So these are my Tibby Stella pants, and the difference is that these are wider. They are more dramatic, so they tend to go with specific tops in my wardrobe as opposed to everything. When I tailored this pant, I chose to get it tailored kind of full length, so it maybe almost puddles a little bit when I'm wearing flat shoes. That is something I should adjust, so they're a bit more versatile. I hope this is helpful to see the differences between something I reach for all the time versus something that I reach for just sometimes. I feel like knitwear is probably the most exciting part of autumn fashion, and in my knitwear essentials, I'm going to include 3 options. I do have a lot of knitwear, but if I was to kind of narrow it down to what the essentials are, I think it'll be these 3. We'll start off with an oversized kind of cozy knit. This one is in a simple cream color, and this knit is from Lily Silk. So what I like about this one is that it's got the ribbed neckline and cuff, so it kind of cinches in and creates a beautiful shape. But I also love that it's very oversized and cozy and comfortable, and it's just a sweater that I really enjoy wearing. I really love the style I chose, and let me show you one that I would probably avoid. So with this particular knit, I don't like how shapeless it is. I don't like how the sleeves don't cuff in and the neckline is looser. This type of shape I find harder to wear, and personally for my own style, it's not really something I gravitate towards. My second knitwear essential is a cotton stripe knit. Reason being that stripes is an essential pattern in my wardrobe, and I feel like having the cotton knit as well as wool knit just adds a lot of versatility to both the look and practicality of my knitwear. With cotton knits, they work really well in that transitional season when we don't need something too thick, too woolly. And also, cotton gives a more structured shape, so it has a different look to the wool knitwear. This is a tried and tested old favorite. This is a Cezanne Leontine, and I adore this. For stripe knits, I actually don't love this totem one. This one is so popular, and I've seen it look amazing on other people. But for my personal shape, I find this silhouette extremely overwhelming, especially because it's so loose around the bottom of the knit. The turtleneck combined with this looser shape just would be so unflattering on my body shape. I much prefer the crop style I chose because it feels a bit more balancing on my more petite, shorter frame. For my last knitwear essential, I would definitely go for a colorful option. So it doesn't matter which color you choose. I've got a green and a red here, but that pop of color knitwear for autumn, I feel like is so beautiful because not only can you wear it alone for that color, you can also layer it eventually under your coats to change up the look of your outerwear. And if you choose it in a color that looks great on you, and you choose it in a color that works with the rest of your clothing, it can add a lot of versatility and let you create different looking outfits. When everything is neutral, sometimes they just start to blend into each other. It's nice to have that different piece. For me personally, I would avoid any color that I feel like looks bad on me and I don't like. So really pastel purples is an example. This shade doesn't feel flattering on me and I don't like it. And also, this kind of color doesn't work that well with the rest of my wardrobe, which tends to be a bit more earthy in color palette. I generally find the easiest colors for us to wear are the colors that look best on us. For me, this actually means some brighter colors versus the softer, more muted or pastel shades. This one really all depends on you. I grab some of my shoes and I move over to the couch because I want to talk about the styles that I rely on most for autumn. The shoe I want to share here is either your fisherman sandal or your loafer. You can definitely choose one or the other and just make it work with all of your transitional looks. The first option will be a pair of black loafers. I have these ones I really love from Tod's. They're a little bit chunkier and they've got that gold hardware detail. I really like these shoes, definitely for the aesthetic of them. I love the chunkiness and then the hardware. Tod's definitely do good shoes, but they are expensive. The good news is that you can find black loafers pretty much anywhere they sell shoes these days, and I feel like something classic in black will be super versatile for all of the autumn outfits we're wearing. An alternative I really like are these Sazan Vicky loafers. These Vicky loafers are also really comfortable. I feel like the quality of them is good as well. So they're a very, very good dupe for the togs. If you're not really a loafer person, you want something that is less chunky or maybe a little bit more open, then I really like the Fisherman sandal. These are from the Australian brand Baird Footwear. I feel like this one runs a bit large, so I had to take one full size down and they fit perfect. I really like Baird Footwear shoes because they pay a lot of attention to comfort. That's in their branding, and I truly feel like they're shoes I can walk in for hours. The sandal has quite a substantial footbed in the shoe, so it makes it a lot more supportive and comfortable than your average sandal. If I'm looking for loafers or fisherman sandals, I would make sure that the sole of the shoe extends over the upper. I mentioned this in a recent video and you guys really love this tip, because if the sole doesn't extend over the shoe, then you're very likely to get scuffs, and a lot of them. Whereas when the sole extends over the upper, it's much less likely to happen. This is something I highly recommend looking out for because it really does make a difference. The next autumn shoe essential in my wardrobe is a pair of classic black boots. And I feel like for most wardrobes, a pair of simple black boots that you wear almost every day is going to be a key piece. So I guess I want to talk about how to choose the right boot. If you wear a lot of dresses and skirts or crop pants where you can still see the ankle, I really like these lace-up boots. I find that these, because they lace in at the ankle, it shows off the ankle shape, and that works really well with dresses, skirts, and crop pants. If you wear mostly long jeans, long pants, I really like these pointed boots because they just feel so sleek. It really elongates the leg, and it just creates the most flattering shape from pant to shoe. And then if you wear a little bit of everything, then I just recommend going for more of an almond toe Chelsea boot, because this is a shoe that is the most versatile. It will match with pretty much anything you wear, from dresses to pants to whatever. If you want one pair of boots to do it all, then I would say get a Chelsea boot. It will work with everything. Whereas if you want a bit more variety, you kind of want maybe two boots to rotate between, then I think you can look into the lace-up and the pointed, because between the two, it works with all of my outfits. With black boots, I guess I'm avoiding anything that doesn't feel like it will last. I've had boots in the past where they were just too delicate, and with the amount of walking I do, they wouldn't really hold up for longer than 1 or 2 years. And with my shoes, I really want to keep them for years and years and years, and basically just get them fixed when I need to. With both of these boots as well, you'll see that the sole extends over the toe, and with all of my shoes, this plays a key part in how long they last. Let's talk about a classic blouse or shirt. So the only one I'm going to include today is the one that I'm currently wearing, and this is just one of many examples you could do. This is from the recent Sazan collection, and honestly, every single detail about this piece I adore. I think the puff detail here is really cute. I love that the sleeve is not too dramatic. There are some Sazan blouses where the sleeves are huge. It makes it so hard to layer, and this one you just got a very subtle take on the balloon sleeve. The lace details are beautiful, but they don't feel too extreme, too crazy, and it just makes it a lot more classic and wearable. If you're looking for a blouse or shirt, I would find something that suits your lifestyle, so you can dress it up for work but also wear it casually. If you work in a casual office, you might find a top like this beautiful for dressing up to go to work in, but also to wear on the weekends, just with a pair of jeans. With these tops, I definitely need to find ways to layer it, so that is why sometimes when the sleeve is too big or the details are too dramatic, I tend to avoid them. This is a shirt here I wear sometimes. This is the perfect example where we've got two things that can technically function in a similar way, but because this has a different neckline, different accents and details, I love this piece so much more than that one, and I'll get so much more wear from this in my wardrobe compared to something like the blue one. Details, as you can see here, they will literally make the biggest difference on how often we wear it, how much we like it, how good we feel in our outfits. All comes down to the little details. In previous years, autumn would definitely be the season I reach for my blazers, and that is still true. I still love my blazers, they're not going anywhere, but if I look at my collection and look at the jacket I've worn the most, it's actually my Betty cardigan. This one is technically knitwear, but I wear it like a jacket, like a casual jacket. I get along this piece so well because it has so much versatility. Sometimes I'll wear it closed like I would a sweater, sometimes I'll wear it open like a cardigan or jacket, and the reason why I considered this a jacket is because it has structure to it. It's not flimsy and light like a knitwear cardigan. It's got some shape that just makes it really beautiful to wear over different clothing as a jacket. There are so many pieces that I repeat wear, but I don't think anything like this Betty cardigan. And this is truly something that I don't feel like will ever get old in my wardrobe because it has so much versatility. If I get sick of wearing it one way, I can style it and wear it in another. This jacket is 100% merino wool, and it's also one of the best quality pieces I have purchased from Cezanne. And if you've never purchased anything from the brand, or you're looking to save for something really beautiful from them, I feel like the Betty cardigan is definitely the piece I would recommend. So with jackets, where can you go wrong? What are the jackets I don't wear? So something I've noticed is that if a jacket is too long, I will wear it a lot less. If you're petite, you can probably relate to this. A lot of jackets fall very long, so this is something I always look for. Second thing is sleeve length. It's a theme of today's video. If sleeves fall into my hand, I often feel a little bit sloppy and not put together enough in a jacket. Final clothing item in today's video is a coat. I recommend looking for your coat kind of early autumn, so you can wear it all the way through autumn into winter. And I also find that with a lot of coats, by winter, they tend to be sold out, so it's kind of harder to find the really good styles in your size and color option. So the coat that I have loved and I have recommended time and again is my curated classic coat. This coat I purchased myself. I've been very lucky to receive another coat from them, but this one I purchased myself and I went 2 sizes up and it fits exactly how I wanted to. It's got a bit of roominess, but it's not too oversized, and I love the rounded shape that it has. Everything from the fabric to the length to the shape, it's all very perfect. So with this coat, I would never recommend anyone to go true to size. I feel like it would be too tight. If I went true to size, I wouldn't be able to layer knitwear inside, and that would definitely be a big deal breaker. 1 size up will give you a classic fit. To me, I would still like there to be a bit more room, and that's why I went 2 sizes up, and it's really perfect. I recommended my best friend to get this coat. She went 2 sizes up and it fits her perfect. She also is so happy with this coat and the quality, and she tells me every time she's wearing it. This is a coat that I always recommend to you guys. I also recommend it to anyone in my life who will listen. It is the best autumn winter coat. One of the things I love about this coat over others is the fabric composition. It's a cashmere wool blend and it feels beautiful. It's a light to medium weight material, so if you live in a very cold winter, it might be thin. But for me, it will carry me through from autumn to winter, and it's that perfect medium weight. The length of it is not too long where I feel like it's dragging me down, but it's also not too short where I feel like it's cutting me off. Length is perfect. I'm 160 centimeters, so you kind of need to think about that depending on your height. One of the trends right now are these really sharp tailored coats. These are the coats that if I had, I wouldn't get as much wear from them because they look too polished, too put together. I also find the sharpness not as flattering on me, and it's something I generally like to avoid. A few years ago, I had this Uniqlo coat, and it was made from a similar fabric of nylon, wool, and poly. This coat, unfortunately, after 1 season, just started pilling all over. I tried to fix it where I could, but the materials just started to thin out, and to be honest, it was looking pretty awful by the end of the first season. While not all synthetic coats will wear that poorly, I usually recommend at least 50% wool in your coats, and if you can afford it, if you can save up, to try to go for as high as possible wool percentage, because these tend to last longer. I hope this video and format was helpful, being able to see side by side what I go for and what I avoid. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed today's video, I would love you to go give it a like, consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Bye!